Man, I get so excited when I see that intro. It's just amazing because I know it's another Tuesday night and it's marketing Tuesday, whatever you want to call it. It's magical Tuesday, talking about marketing, talking about your business growth and mindset and all the fun stuff of growing an online business, but doing it in a real purposeful way, in a heart-centered way. And that's what Tuesdays are all about on Marketing Made Easy. My friend Scott is in the house as well. As always, how you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing fantastic, Joey, and I don't know if you heard the applause.
I
As
did not.
uh,
Thank you.
that was for many things. Specifically, it was the video intro. I love it. As the CEO of a video software company, I love to see cool videos that just do what they're supposed to do fast, no matter how many times I see it. And the second part was it's so cool to talk about marketing. It's like the one thing that I think everybody that ever wants to be an entrepreneur, a business person, success in anything, doesn't matter what, they need to understand the basic tenets and principles of marketing.
Exactly.
Just
You're so right.
we travel through the world and we see people and we look and we go, God, we can help you so much. Hey, Daniel, welcome. Good to have you with us.
Thank you guys for being here live. If you're on the live, hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, I'll say it now at the beginning of it, hashtag replay. So just we can know whether you're watching live or on the replay. And if you like what we're doing, maybe give us a thumbs up, a heart, let Facebook know, and the YouTubes and the Twitters that we're doing an awesome job.
What about the
And
LinkedIn? Don't forget the LinkedIn.
yeah, well, see, here's the thing: the
Oh,
LinkedIn didn't
no.
make it to this
Oh,
broadcast because
no.
yours truly didn't make it on time to set the broadcast up,
That
and I
would
was having
be
some trouble
insane.
with our
Oh,
StreamYard today.
no.
StreamYard, what's happening with you guys? So get that thing working. Anyway, we'll forget about the technical problems. We are here broadcasting on 4 of our 7 or 8 channels that we usually broadcast on. Still, we're going to make it happen, right? So thank you for being here live. Thank you for always, showing up as much as you can here and engaging with us. That's what this is all about. Please let us know what's happening on your side. If you have a question, love to see it in the group, or no, in the questions, in the comments. And if you had some insight, feedback on anything, we're here to listen as well. Even though we like to stand on our soapboxes every now and then, but that's cool, right?
That's why we're here.
Heart centered all
So,
week long. You
Susan,
are too, Susan. Good to see you here. Thank you.
Petra said hi in the, there we go. Happy midnight dinner, boys.
Love it. Thank you for being here, Petra. Today we are talking. This was sparked by one of the many things that cross my world in the day. And I just figured, okay, this is a good topic to start off with, which is where to tweak the quote unquote funnel. And I'm only using that word because everybody knows what a funnel is, but you know me, I'm the unfunnel guy. I'm the drop the funnel guy, but just for to get the ball rolling, it's where do you tweak the process of bringing people into your world? Where's the best places to tweak that to eventually enroll them into your programs, products, and things like that? Okay. That's the overall topic of it. Now, with that said, do you have any immediate things that come to your head? Or do you want me to just give you the reason why?
Well,
I'm
immediately two things come to my head is one, the offer,
okay.
and two, the taking it to zero, as far as no effort whatsoever. How can we totally eliminate 100% of the effort, the risk that it takes to get from here to the dream, to the end result, to the benefit? And one of the things I think I told you, Alex Hormozy, still can't pronounce his name yet, with $100 million offers, that's one of the things that really hit me last night about it is when you look at taking it apart
Yeah,
and what is every single problem they're going to face. And that's what the offer has to do is say, here's all the problems that perceived problems. That was a key piece of it.
that's right. Yeah.
And if you know what the perceived problems are, then you can answer every single one of them in the offer.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, again, the big piece too was, how do you turn the objection, the perceived objection, into totally reverse it? It's like, oh, that's too difficult. Well, I'm going to show you how to make it so simple, because I'm going to take you by the hand and walk you through it by taking the perceived problem and flipping it around. So the offer, and I definitely think, well, it's still the offer.
Okay. Yeah. So that's where you tweak the process is on the offer, right?
I would start with the offer, because everything starts with the offer.
Right. Okay.
The Facebook ad, the landing page, the email sequences, there's nothing until the offer.
What happens when you have the offer like tweaked? What would you do then? It's right. It's working.
The
Where do you
offer is
tweak?
tweaked, that's working. My next thing would be to build some kind of page to make the offer, whether it's a Google Sheet, whether it's a simple WordPress page or a landing page, to say to people, hey, go check this thing out.
Okay.
And I've got the offer, I've got the product. Again, the presumption is there is a product, a service, an idea that we're selling. That's sound. And now again, the offer
Well,
is
when I say the offer's tweaked, that's working, it means that people have bought the thing.
right.
Okay. So if that process is working, where do you tweak?
Well, the next piece is, the traffic piece. How are we getting traffic?
Okay.
Obviously, we've got the offer, we've got the product, we've got people bought it. Now we need to get it out to more people. We've got to scale it in a way. I
Okay.
think one of the biggest problems most people run into is, we've talked about this a little bit, is, well, I got to get ready to scale. Have you sold
Yeah.
anything yet? No, I haven't sold. Well, then why are you worrying about scaling? Well, because no, we got the offer and we got making some sales. Now, how do we get people to come and get into our funnel, which is the unfunnel, or how do we get somebody to interact with us that we can share value and give them gifts and lead them down the journey that they need to be on to get the result as fast as they possibly can?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Where I would go next.
Cool. Okay. The way that that's all right. I mean, there's no wrong answer, I guess. But for me, where this sparked was that um, I believe the tweaking comes in when in the after process, like when people are into your world, like an email list or something like that, and tweaking the support and all that you give them, because getting a new customer is way harder than getting an existing customer to buy again or keep on
Right.
going, right? And that's not to do the hard upsells and all this kind of stuff. Not what I'm talking about. But tweaking the front end of the funnel per se, where let's say you've got a working thing going and you're running traffic to it, and that's fine. And then you go in and you want to tweak the page, uh, change things up on the page and do things like that. And there's nothing wrong with testing. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But that's the wrong place for me the way I look at it, to tweak.
Right.
Tweaking, that's a test. That's like let's just see what happens. But it's not a tweak to how do I squeeze more money out of it? And that's where I think, for me personally, is a wrong approach. And I don't know how you think, but that's what I'm coming at this debate at.
I agree with you. I believe that it's important for, like you said, Joey, what else can they buy? Not the upsell or the order bump, which is okay if it makes sense. It shouldn't be a 22-step upsell like in the JV Zoo Warrior Forum world. It should be, hey, you got this thing to do this thing and you're getting these results. There's some other things here that you need to write your copy. And then you need to find the dream client. And then you need to put it all together. And then you need to really, well, there's your 4 different products.
Well, okay, so that you're right about that if you do have the products, but what if you don't have the products? That's the question that comes up.
Well, then it's create something.
Yeah,
Create
and
another product, another offer. That's all I love to do, is a new offer, a new product. What other problem are they having that we haven't solved yet, that you can do something that's fairly easy, that in the beginning is an easy sell, but it's a difficult fulfillment.
Yeah. And I'm going to come back to that in a second. So, Lorna, yes, I'm using StreamYard. I had trouble today with StreamYard. Your name is here though, so wherever you're, I think you're watching on one of the two Facebook channels. So thank you. But so you're here live, so that's awesome. Yeah, Scott. Like, there's so many different ways of looking at this, and I again, this is just our expert opinions and how we approach things, and I'm sure we agree with most of it
Yeah.
together, doing the same things, speaking about it in different ways. And I think that um, this was brought up on my Atlas call today about it as well. And where was I going with this now? I forgot my Lorna, you threw me off. um, here's the thing. The analogy, which I hate this analogy, like I keep saying, I got to come up with a better one, but it'll work. It's like the fish in the pond thing. So you fished and you bring these people into the, because I don't want to reference people as fish and all the stuff that goes along with it. But anyway, you've now got this pond of fish that you forget to feed. They come into your email list and you're like, okay, they bought something, and let me just either try to upsell them, or you don't have anything to upsell them, or not upsell. I shouldn't say that, or to offer them again, and then you go out and you try to find more fish, but you forget about these guys and
Right.
you're not feeding them. And
Hmm.
to me, that's the most important thing. And I'm not saying never go out into the ocean and keep on casting the bait or whatever to bring the right fish in. Again, I'm not referencing anybody as a fish. That's the only way I can
What's
you
your
know
problem with fish? I
describe.
like
Well,
fish.
because I don't want the, hey, I'm fishing with bait and all these things. I got to come
Yeah.
up with a better analogy.
Okay.
But anyway, and that's the thing where, and so that's why I asked you, what about if we don't have any products? And this is one problem, is that if they're not feeding the fish in the email list and communicating and giving them support, which is what I just said at the beginning, like, tweak the support, tweak the energy you put into that, rather than let me get more people to buy. So you know what I mean? And so if you tweak that and you feed this list of amazing humans, then eventually the product will emerge that you can then say, hey, I've got this other thing.
Well,
But
while
it's
you're feeding them, you get to ask them what's their favorite food. What do they like to eat? What do they like to drink? What do they like to do? What's your problem? As you feed them and you nurture them, they become more open.
yeah,
And you can get on calls with these people and say, what are you struggling with that we haven't yet helped you with? What else do you need? That's led to a lot of stuff we create is, okay, we keep feeding our people. And that's an important point you made is even if there's 10 of them or 20, go feed them, do a call, figure out what they need, do a training, do a quick coaching call, do whatever it is, an update, I'll answer any question, or here's the top 10 questions, whatever it is, that you become top of mind, that you're providing value and you're not just asking for money all the time.
right. And that's why, the default is to go back to the ocean or whatever, or to go out and fill the top of
Right.
funnel continuously. And that's where, you said it before, like, bring traffic in, do whatever. But I'm saying, okay, that's fine. But once you get this thing that's working, that if you turn it on, X amount of people will enroll or buy or whatever. And then you say, well, let's go tweak it now, because how much more can I get out of that? So that to me is like a back asswards thing to be
Well,
thinking about. Like, sure, you could make a little bit more money, if you change the headline or something. Okay, you might make a little bit more money, but it's not a game changer in my experience, and from what I've done. It's You might make a couple more bucks, but it's not the game changer. Whereas if you put the energy into this part, the back end, and talking to these people and saying, hey, listen, like, maybe they bought something for $500 or $200 or something, and now you and I both know that there's a percentage of those people who will pay $20,000 to buy something. Not to say that, okay, that how am I going to squeeze 20 grand? But you know what I mean, right? It's like you're talking to these people to find where it is that they need something that you can now provide, and not
in
and
the
that's a tweak.
Yeah, and in the beginning, Joey, as you're building a business, as you're starting the process, as you're getting buyers, users, customers, clients, whatever you want to call them, as you bring them in and you learn more about them, you've got a lot of effort on the front end. Over time, you figure out, well, like you and I talk about some of the things each of us are doing, I don't need to be doing this thing live all the time. I can take these pieces and record it, thereby making it easier to deliver to more people over time. You have to start it somewhere. And Lorna says, I think you're talking about two different things in a way. At least, Lorna, two, if not 32. I like the idea that it starts with the initial offer. It has great clarity. The sales page is better. The free gifts are better. It's easier to get the right people. That's how it draws in the dream client. Wonderfully put. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and then she says once the dream client is paid, then there's an opportunity to find out more of what they want, which helps help to tweak the initial offer and other offers in the sales
yeah,
page. I guess it's a circle.
it
I
is.
suppose you could look at it that way too. Yes, I don't disagree with that. What I'm saying though, Lorna, is what you're I think she's validating what I just said, that you're listening to the dream clients on the inside and looking at what else can I offer them, but also going back to the original thing and saying, wait a second, here's something that they said that I never really put on the sales page. Let me go put that on the sales page.
Right.
Okay, so it's kind of the same thing I think she's saying. And what I'm saying is that some people don't focus on that. They don't focus on going to the existing clients and listening to them and nurturing them and talking to them and supporting them. They go back to, well, if that worked, I'm getting 50% conversions. Let me change some stuff on my thing so I can get 51% conversions. And to me, I'm like, why would you do that?
Because some guru told them that they have to check their analytics, and if there's less than 5.82% that they need to change something, and if this conversion is in this and this and this, then you know,
I'm just saying for me, Scott, it's the wrong place to put energy. And I'm not saying don't ever go and fix or tweak or test, but it's like if you want to make more revenue or build the business or it's everything is with the existing clients. It's easier to sell. Like you're putting products out every week. You're doing new things.
yeah,
So are you doing it to new audiences or existing audiences?
I haven't brought a new person into our company in 13 months for the most part, maybe 10 or 20 new people in by kind of accident and little things testing. But for the most part, no. And we've done six figures on
So
a
why?
small
Why do you
list.
do that? Why don't you go out and build a funnel
Uh,
and bring in cold traffic?
because I'm getting ready to make sure that everything's in place, that it will be easy to deliver and will provide massive amounts of value, that I can step back and do other things instead of the minutia of it.
Yeah.
And when you're building it, you have to be in there all the time. We were talking about that before we started the call. A funnel, yeah, the dream clients are exactly where I've been playing with my dream client, and I haven't. Petra, say hi to Bob. Hi, Bob.
We haven't seen Bob Michaels in a while. Hey, Bob.
We haven't seen Bob Michaels in a while. And I know Bob Michaels better than he knows himself. Why? Because I talk to him all the time. I mean, constantly. It's like we're about to launch our marketplace. Well, guess who's going to be the first ones in the marketplace? My my highest level of Bob Michaels. I'm the people that bought a certain thing. And then, like my small circle of friends, I'm going to say, go into that and play with it. Tell me what you think. I'm not going to go out. I don't want 100,000 people in the marketplace. I got to figure things out.
Yeah, I mean, this goes back. You were talking about the offer at the beginning, which is completely right. And I mean, there's two avenues of this. Is like, well, when somebody asks a question like, how do I make this convert better or tweak better or whatever, like Lorna said, like there's two different areas. One is that is the process working or not, and everybody has their own judgment of working. Okay, but the ones that aren't working, that are just there's a lot of people coming, nobody buys, whatever. For somebody to go back and say, dude, you got to like change the pictures and all that stuff on the sales page, that's again wrong. It has nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that. And because I prove it, I don't even have a freaking button on my thing. I
Right.
don't even have a page. It's a Google Doc
Right.
with somebody to say, email me back and tell me you want to buy this thing. There's not even a button. There's not even a thing to go buy the dang thing. So don't tell me it's about buttons and graphics and all that kind of stuff. It ain't nothing.
None of
So
it.
if something's not converting, it's because you don't have your offer right. You don't have your dream client information right. All of that stuff. Agreed?
Totally agreed. If you're not selling it, you don't have the dream client and your offer's not right. Those two things.
Right. So then if you get those things right, and now you're converting at
Right.
30% or whatever, and then you come back to you and somebody said, "Hey Scott, listen, I want you to help me tweak my sales page. You're asking all these questions like what's the opt-in rate or whatever. And let's say it's 30%, or conversion rate. That's a damn good like
Yeah,
conversion rate. Would you not agree?
totally.
Like
And
it's like you're like, okay, then what do you want to do? Well, I want to scale this thing. I want to make it like maybe you can get them a bump of 2%. Maybe. But the effort that goes into that, dude, to get that is like, why? Why would you put all that effort when you could just go to the back end and make all of it happen right there and get a conversion of 130%?
well, here's the thing, Joey, and people will, but Joey, wait, no, Joey, because
Right.
if no, Joey, really, seriously, I got this Facebook guru, and they're gonna be able to this and ads and that. Okay, how much is it costing you? Well, they take 10% of the webinar thingy, and I pay them a few $1,000s a month, and then at the end, it's like, wait a second, you drove all that traffic, you got X number of conversions. Then you had X number of refunds because they weren't really your dream client. They were somebody that clicked on an ad, went to the thing, just not bought it, and was like, yeah, yeah. And then you got refunds, and then you got complaints, and because you're not dealing with your dream client. And at the end of the day, it's like, well, what if you built it over time and learn what your dream client really needs? Then said, okay, I got all this working, where do I find some more dream clients? Not going out into the deep ocean with a big giant net, but like, you know what? There's a little cove over there that I know has, well, there's another garden there with wildflowers. We're going to go with Petra's flower analogy.
Yeah.
Wildflowers in your garden. And when the soil is fertile, they will grow and blossom. And you can harvest when you take care of them. I planted 61 rows of garlic, 419 heads, and they're going to sleep all winter long, and then they're going to come up and be happy in April. I didn't plant like 400 different varieties of everything. I just did the garlic, and I'm going to take care of them. And then next year I'll plant the best ones, and then the year after I'll plant the best one. Not going to go buy more garlic. Going to take care of my garlic.
Well, what you said was, to that point of, yeah, I hired this guy, we're gonna run more traffic and da da da, and why they don't want to do the back end nurturing is right to your point of, well, they can see the immediate ROI
Yeah,
from a Facebook ad or hiring somebody that, look, I'm getting more people in. Forget about everything you said, which is absolutely true, the refunds and non the dream clients and everything else, but they can actually see something if it's working.
right,
That, oh, look, I made this many sales this week. However, if you do it the other ways, where am I getting the sales? I'm not getting anything from sending out a million emails and nobody's buying yet. Like, because A, I don't have a product to sell them yet. So they don't see that immediate ROI, and that freaks them out. And they go back to the other end thinking,
right.
well, let me just
Yep,
tweak this,
yep.
and get a couple more percentage opting in, and that's where the debate that I'm bringing up lives. Right? Is that okay, that's totally fine, but you're leaving all these people, then you're not feeding them, and you're just trying
Right
to bring in
now,
more people.
when you get to the point where you have a couple of 100,000 users or a couple of million users, yeah, hire somebody really good to go tweak all the everything. Just pay somebody, because then you're talking about, if you've got 100,000 and you get a couple of points, that's big. But it takes a while to get there. You're not going to just launch a Facebook ad and say, okay, great. Now all I got to do is scale it and bring more in the top because I already got it figured out. Now I've got to go back to, like you said, Joey. Marta says many people starting out don't have the pool of existing clients big enough to stick with that for months without bringing new clients. How would you recommend someone build that existing pool?
That's a great question, and do you want to answer it first or me?
You. I already got I know my answer. I want to see if yours is better than mine. It usually is.
The first thing that comes to my mind, Lorna, is that nobody starts out with a pool. We all started with one person.
Right.
And the thing is that it all depends on your business model too. And if you have to survive and you need to get clients coming in, whatever you need to get clients coming in. But the point is that if you're ignoring the small group that you put together, 2 to 3, 5, 10 people that you have, you're ignoring them. Like the bottom line is whatever you say yes to, you're saying no to something else. So you're putting your energy into getting more clients by ignoring the existing people that are already there. And to me, that's backwards. So when I started building my pool or whatever you want to call it, it was with one person. And if I would have ignored that person, then I wouldn't get person number 2 because that person helped me get number 2. It doesn't mean that I'm not going out and still looking for more people to bring in, but my energy is focused on how do I serve what's there so that that pool grows. Like some energy goes where energy flows, or energy flows where focus is, or something like that. I forget the quote, but it's where do you put your energy, and that's what's going to grow. So if you're putting your energy into the front and going out and looking for clients all the time, that's where the energy goes, and it steals the energy away from the people that matter, which everybody matters, but these people I think matter more. I don't know if I really answered that question. That's just a thought.
Where energy goes, energy flows. Wherever you put your energy into, that's where more energy is going to flow.
Right.
Now, as far as my answer to this is, if you provide value beyond imagination and you give somebody results, you need 10 clients to pay you 10 grand for 100 grand a year. That's it. Or you need 20 to pay you 5 grand. Or the first client pays you 2,500 and you get the second one pretty quickly after for 5 grand, and then you get it up to 10 grand. But in the beginning, you're going to deliver a lot. You got to give a lot of value for that kind of money. And that's in the beginning. If you get 5, 10, 8, 12, 20 people paying you 2, 3, 5, 8, 10 grand, and you work your butt off, and then you get results and you get testimonials, just like you do, Joey, where people go look and say, hey, I joined Atlas and my life changed and this happened and I did DCC and WMC and Elite and that, and here's what's happening in my world. You did that one at a time. Now
Yeah.
you do it 2 at a time to build it up. You don't need a million people on a list to live the dream life that you want. And that's that's my answer to it. Is it goes back to the dream client connection, it goes back to the dream client. They have to have money.
Yeah, I agree with you. To answer this maybe a little bit further too, Lorna, is when I did the first marketing blueprint course thingy, it literally was 2 people that bought in. That was it. And all my focus was on those 2 people. It wasn't now that they've bought and I tried to go out and get more people to tweak the front end to get more in. It was like, nope, all my focus is going to be over here to make sure that I deliver this and that they like it or whatever, or that I need to tweak this to the program, the delivery. Like, am I getting this right? So my focus shifted to there. And now I had 2 customers, and it grew from there. And it was
Joey,
just
your energy has gone into at least 4 places I know of, major places. One, you created a Facebook group that you are in there providing value, value, value.
Thank you.
2, your emails, and I've got the Ragona email sitting there, and one day I will publish them, and probably Mr. X publishes the Ragona emails. 2, 3, you are in groups providing immense value.
Mhm.
And that's where you put your energy in. You show up every Tuesday night and do this show. That's 4 things right now. And there's a couple of different groups you play in, but it's the same activity in those groups. I've never seen you say, okay, bro, I'm going to go now and get a Facebook and a Google Ads person, and I'm going to get thousands of people, drive them to the funnel. And no, you keep giving value, you keep helping people, you get on calls with people. And that's how your income goes from a little bit to a lot.
Right.
By just doing that, and it doesn't take years.
No.
It doesn't.
So, okay, thank you for that, Scott.
You're welcome.
Back to the buttons. I agree. If something isn't converting, it isn't the button. I believe that the button has importance and can make a difference. It doesn't make the difference. Yeah, there was a discussion that I totally disagreed with today in Kajabi about buttons, and we've had this discussion before, Scott, about colors and all that stuff. And I go, my whole thing was like, you're telling me that if you've got this converting page that you go in and change a button from blue to green, that all of a sudden someone who's sitting on the fence reading your tweaked copy that's working, that is amazing copy already, that their lizard brain is going to say, oh, wait a second. I was on the fence before, but now I see this button is green, so I'm going to actually buy it. To me, that's like,
I'm going to help you right now in the next 30 seconds find dream clients who have launched funnels that blow, that need your help today, right now. I'm going to show you how to find them without any struggle, anything. Click the red button with the X and the skull on it. You're going to click the red
exactly. That's my point.
Yeah,
that's my point. If the offer is right, they don't care. And remember, I've proven it so many times with the pages. Remember, I showed you the ugly pages and the
yeah.
And it's like
months ago.
Like there's a debate. Yes, I agree that color is some kind of has psychological bearings to it, and I don't disagree with all that stuff. Right? I'm not this anti graphics dude. However, if somebody misinforms the world and says you got to tweak your button and you're going to get hundreds of thousands of dollars more, that's what's wrong with the thing, because then people come to us and say, dude, like, help me, because should I change my button color, and their copy sucks, or their whatever, and they're like, dude, you got to get this right. No, just tell me what kind of color should I choose.
Like you said, bro, you don't even have a button.
That's right.
Who needs a button when you got a link? It's just, and because over the years from different gurus, we've heard robin's egg blue is the best color for the background that converts. And then you watch the same guru do the exact different thing. Use a red button, and you're supposed to use green means go, and you're supposed to mean blue is confident. But
I'm tempted to put a sales page together that says all the copy and says something like, find the button to buy and get an extra discount or something.
There you go.
Like that. If you can find the button to buy,
right. If you can find the button or the link to purchase, I'll let you have it. It's kind of like years ago, I did this, was find the spelling error. Find the spelling error and get $5.
Yeah.
I did that for a restaurant. We had people lined out the door to get their $5. And I gave them $5 cash.
Yeah.
How many of them stayed and drank and ate? Most of them. How many took their $5 and left? Great. You weren't my dream client. Lorna said, sorry, I meant in the context of tweaking offers, sales pages versus focusing on existing clients. I think you just answered about the first two clients. I think you're likely also tweak the offers as you move forward based on the existing clients and grew numbers. No
Yes.
doubt about it.
Yes.
And again, Joey, for a fact, we talked about this on one of the previous shows, was you finally honed the message of what Atlas was. Because when you first started it, you didn't know what it was.
It was a guess. It was like, this is my best guess. Yeah.
We build stuff all the time. I don't know what it is yet. I have an idea. I play with it. I build it. I look at it. I see it. I tweak it and say, okay, let me get it out there. I got to go back and tweak it. I told you we're launching a marketplace here in the very near future, and it's tweaking it. I was like, we got to come back and tweak that. Yeah, but I'm not going to mess with it now because it's not really going to affect conversions if there's 2 words on the page that say something like, I don't know what it was. It's like, leave it. I don't care about that. Because if they look at it, they read the copy, and it's enticing that it's going to solve their problem and help them in some way get a benefit, then that little thing, they're going to be like, oh, wait, maybe I shouldn't buy it.
Yeah. To me, Scott, like, it's always about that. What I always try to think of, what's the journey that's going on within the people who are coming into our world. And if you look at the simplicity of it, that somebody gave you their email address for something, I don't care what it is, even if they were a tire kicker at this point, I don't care. They come into your world and then you ignore them. And because they didn't buy the first thingy, or if you're in our world, you know that we don't really do a lot of that. Like, hey, you owe me some money. But the point is that a lot of people just ignore it. They just ignore those people, and it doesn't compute in my head to say, well, these people jumped through this hoop to come into my world, and I'm ignoring them, but I'm gonna go out and try to find somebody else by tweaking the front end of my page to try and get more people in that I could ignore even more. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Let's put some energy into these people that have actually raised their hand, however big or small, to say, Scott, I really like you and I like what you're doing and I like what you've said so far. Tell me more.
Again, Joey, the focus is on that piece of it. Is if somebody takes the time to exchange in value and gives you their email address, that's huge. That means I'm going to allow you to come into my world, that I will think about paying attention to you and tweaking the value that comes
Yeah.
in, tweaking I'm playing with some stuff for the yoga studio. And one of the things I found in analyzing was that a lot of people aren't getting the emails in the beginning. They don't know about the special, the promotion, the deal that's coming up for them because it went into their promotions folder. And they were never told that they should go find the email of value that we just sent you. That's tweaking. That's okay. 100 people signed up for my thing, 5 unsubscribed, good, goodbye. 95, 30 weren't delivered, or 30 went to spam. What happened? That's where you tweak, because they raised their hand and said, I'm interested. Instead of, to hell with them. No, go find out what's going wrong. That's a tweak. That's a huge.
That's my point. Exactly right. What you said. I agree 100%. Because let's say that to your point, you have all these people who came into your world, and for whatever reason, because eventually there's going to be some kind of offer they don't buy, and you think, okay, well, I'm going to go out and get more people in, and they come in and they don't, and you're like, well, something's going wrong. My sales page must be wrong or something because nobody's buying. No, it's because your back end sucks. Something's wrong there. Something, look at, why aren't people clicking through to the page, or why aren't people opening my email, or whatever? Why aren't they engaging? That's where the tweak needs to happen. If you got people, you don't bring more people in and spend bad money after good, or good money after bad, right? It's like, fine, these people didn't buy, then let me go get more people and bring them into this crappy system that doesn't do anything the right way in the first place. That's where the tweak needs to happen.
Yeah, I'll give you an example. I just got a message from one of my creators, and we're going to do a webinar on Tuesday, November 16th. It's not a promotion at all. And it's all about he's one of our amazing scene creators, and he does the short social scenes, and it's great stuff. And we're going to talk about how to use some of his assets in PowerPoint. Why? Because our people use PowerPoint, do PowerPoint presentations. We're going to give them a free training, free webinar for everybody. And that's it. That's the value piece there. We're serving them because we know that people do PowerPoint and they need assets that can both work in our software and in PowerPoint. And that's taking care of the garden. That's nurturing the flowers. That's feeding them organic fertilizer. They grow, they blossom, they produce fruit and make everybody happy and get more people to come, more veggies and plants that want to come into your garden because you got this cool place in the garden.
Yeah, I'd like to hear other comments here on what you guys think on what you would tweak or maybe ask a question regarding your um, process of bringing dream clients in, what to do with that. We'd love to answer your questions and learn from you as well. Great feedback so far. Thank you very much. And by the way, if you haven't already joined us in the Heart Centered Facebook group, please do that. If you are a heart centered entrepreneur and want to combine yourself with an amazing group of people that care and support you. That's what this is all about. Scott and I are in there every day helping out, answering questions. Love to have you there too. And these we do every single Tuesday. If you're here on the replay, let me know with a hashtag replay, or if you're on live right now, hashtag live. That'd be awesome to know if you are watching this live or on the replay. And if you like what we're doing, maybe a thumbs up or a heart or something like that. Let us know. And I don't know, there's a whole kind of communication going on between Petra and Monica that I can't even follow.
Yeah,
So,
I know. I think I could have figured that one out.
Yeah, that one is kind of a no-brainer there. That's good. So this is, I mean, dude, like it looks like we agree on where to really tweak things and where to put our energy into it. I just don't want that. I see it so often that these ideas of where to make changes to where sales aren't happening or to make even more money is like the focus is in the wrong place for me personally.
I think one of the biggest challenges too, Joey, is I don't believe online entrepreneurs are armed with the right questions.
Mm-hmm.
I believe they're seduced by the vultures out there who know how to prey on those that are wounded and struggling and frustrated and weak, who have gotten into paying for crap that doesn't work. And what they do is they share misinformation. And what I mean by they don't know the right questions are, I learned this many years ago when I knew nothing about marketing. And I hired a director of marketing who knew less about marketing than I did. There was a fellow that I hired or was about to hire, and it was just totally fishy, everything about it. And I came up with a couple of questions. And the first one was, how much money have you made? I want to know. How much money have you made for other people? I want to know that. And third, who are they? I want to talk to them. Because if I go say, hey, Joey, tell me about working with Fred. And you're like, oh my God, bro. When I first started working with Fred, I was struggling, this, not frustrated, and that. I spent money, is that. And within literally, within 3 to 6 months, he helped turn the ship around and started to move forward. And it was starting, and over the course of whatever, it was amazing. Okay, cool. Hey, Sue, what's up with you? What happened? Is that? And then I've got information as opposed to let's get on discovery and a clarity call and blah, 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 blah. And at the end, you end up buying something, and it's just another thing of somebody that's regurgitating all the stuff from fill in the blanks of all the names we all already know and have used too many times. And that's the challenge is I go study this guy and go, oh, I look at your page and you should change the button color and change the background and this, and maybe your picture should move a little bit when you scroll down the page. Well, why? Because I learned that works well. Prove it.
Yeah, exactly.
Prove
Because
it. Show me.
I learned or I heard, or it's like, come on, man.
when I say that when I do an offer with an upsell with a bonus and it has a 78.4% conversion rate, which is insane, and I show them exactly the numbers, the offer, what it was, how it worked, when I tell them to do something similar, I know it's going to work. And that's what it's so great that there is a dude that does it different called Hugh. Hugh Ragona. That's your new name, Hugh.
Who? Well, I don't know, bro. I see this every day, and it's becoming even more rampant in the last little while
It's not
of advice.
Joey. It
Say,
can't stop.
yeah,
There's what, 7 billion people on the planet, and
yeah,
only like less than half are online. And how many are expected to come on in the next 10 years? Another couple of billion.
yeah.
Go on and go, hey, there's this internet thing, and I could do cryptocurrency, and I could do Etsy, and I could do Amazon, and I could do all these things you get rich tomorrow.
Yeah. I think that the what it comes down to is knowing that dream client, knowing who you want to offer something to, learning everything you can about them, bringing them into your world, and then focusing your energy on those people, is supporting those people. That's where the tweaks are. That's where the energy goes. So do that, and your business will grow tremendously without you ever really working very hard. You work at the beginning to get all that information and to support. You put all that all that energy, like there's no other word I can say. There's all that energy and focus in on those people, even if it's one person. And that's where I think that the mindset needs to change. And Dan, I think it's Dan Sullivan who says that. Like, you want to change the world, you do that at one person at a time. And you focus on how you're going to change that person's life in a profound way. If you change one person's life in a profound way, they will tell another person.
I think there also needs to be a tweak in mindset. And
Right.
by that, I mean self worth, self valuation. And
Hmm.
that is such a huge piece in a lot of people who
Hmm.
don't feel that their life's work, that their discovery, that their idea, their concept, their system is as valuable as it is. And that's a mindset. Well, I can't charge $10,000. I can't charge five. I can't charge two. I can't. You can charge anything you want. Now, obviously, you have to prove and provide value. I'm going to say to someone, it costs you 100 grand. I got to show value that this is what's going to happen as a result of it.
Yeah.
And
So in that case, you tweak what you deliver,
correct.
not tweak how am I bring more people in.
No,
Right.
no.
It's like,
Why would I, if I had people pay me $100 for a thing, then I need to find out, is there a thing that can help them that will give them value, that when they look at the value proposition and say, okay, he's got this $500 thing, it's worth way more than that. I'd be an idiot not to buy the $500 thing because of what it's going to do, his performance, his track record. Again, you started this, now you've got elite. And then there'll be something after that that'll be at a much higher level, which is
right. But at the same time, like, to those points, is I tweaked what I was delivering. That's what
exactly
Atlas is. It's a new delivery process
right.
based on other things that I used to deliver. And it's not like, you could say it's a new product or whatever it is, but it was more on, okay, how do I go back to the people that are in my world, right? And offer them something that they want, that is value to them and to me and everything, and tweak that. That's what I did. And that's what I do every day. How do I make something better that they need? Not that, how can I make something connect so I can sell them something? What is the thing that they need? And am I willing to do that? And am I capable of doing that? Is it along with my superpowers? And how can I make it so valuable, like you said, that's amazing value for them, and tweak that. And that's why, as you know, every time I'm on calls with people, I'm always constantly asking them, how is this running? Is this good for you? What's wrong with it? What would you add? How should we do this better? All these things, because they're telling me how to make it better for them and for new people coming into my world you know, who might pay even more now for the exact same thing as we're for doing betas and all this other stuff. And there's always new people coming in, but it's not a focus on that.
Right. Again, you're marketing to a moving parade. I don't know who said that, but somebody many years ago.
It was Eben Pagan where
Yeah, every day a new audience appears. Somebody comes online for the first time. Somebody wakes up with a problem. Somebody gets introduced to a thing that they want.
yeah, okay, well, I see where you're going with this, 'cause I thought you were going the other way. The way that I remember it from, because I was worked with Eben in 2013, I think it was, or 14, I don't remember, but that's where I first heard it. And you're right, you are marketing to a moving parade. And the way that he um, drilled into our heads was that you move with the parade. So most marketers are stagnant
Right.
and the moving parade is going by them. And so they're firing these messages and they're hitting the parade and the people are going, don't need it, don't need it. And they walk by and they keep firing at the front of the
Right.
parade. Whereas me, I walk with the parade. I'm
Yep.
like, there's my group. I'm going to
Yep.
keep firing the same message, dream client, dream client, dream client, dream client, because their world changes as they walk along the parade route and they're
Mhm.
looking at different things and their minds are changing and all this kind of stuff. Meanwhile, they look over the side, right? And they see me. I'm walking along and they're going, hey, that Joey dude, he's still here. Rather than, who was that guy way back there again? Ah, forget about it. Like, I
Yeah.
can't remember that guy. So there's two analogies there. I thought you're going with the second one, but they're both right.
They're both right, and yours is more right than mine.
Okay. It's just the way I operate. That's all. It doesn't.
I understand that. And again, I want to jump back earlier on to another tweak, and we'll bring Dean Jackson, and we love to bring him in a lot. Cheese and whiskers.
Yeah.
What would you put out there in your offer that somebody would chew through a 3-foot wall, that would do anything? I drive an hour to go to the butchery to get my meat and my seafood because it's the best. The value, I pay $29 for a chicken. Why? It's the best. It's the highest quality. The value proposition for me is I don't want to drive 2 minutes to do something. I'll drive an hour. I won't wait on hold for a minute. I will travel an hour. Why? Because to me, it's the value proposition. And it's so vital to tweak that. Is, can somebody look at your offer and say, holy crap, that I would be an idiot. There is
Mhm.
so much value in this. I'd be an idiot not to take advantage of it.
100%. 100%. That's where all the tweaks are, is like, how do I make this a no brainer for my dream client?
Right. And going
But it's
back,
not about trying to get more people in.
no, and it going back to Lorna, it's looking at those pieces from that lens is, holy crap, I didn't realize that that thing was such an important thing to my peeps until I knew it was an important thing. Because even when we do our copy bank, and even when we write good copy, and even all that, there's still some tweaks in not changing the colors and the layout and the buttons and the blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
but in the offer.
Yeah. Just if that's where the focus is when you're doing your something is, the offer's not right or something's not converting to my standards, whatever your standards are, then you focus on that. Like, am I saying the right thing? Because it all comes down to that. Are you saying the right thing to that audience? And
Right.
then you can play around with different graphical thingies and test whatever you want to test. And maybe you get a bump, maybe you don't, whatever. That's fine. But it's basically that. But once you have that, then to me it doesn't make any sense to go back to that. And because even Frank Kern said it, and I was in his inner circle for a long time. And I remember him distinctly saying that, because he's all about front end and traffic and all this.
Yep.
And I remember him saying, dude, like, what am I going to do? Go over here and get another 1% more opt-ins?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Why would I do that? Like, what is that going to really bring me in dollars? If you're selling, I guess, $1 million offer, maybe it's worth it. But
Again,
right. But most of us aren't.
no.
Most of us are selling a $7 ebook, right? Like, really, come on.
I don't think I've ever sold an ebook.
You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? Like, you're going to get a 1% or 2% more. I don't even think you're going to get 2%, but like 1% bump or something, or 0.3% because you changed.
It's like today, Joey, I've been putting up products, digital assets into our marketplace, and I'll look at the price and I'll look at the asset and I'll go, I think it's worth this much. That's it. That's my decision process. How much time will it save you in searching for what I'm about to give you? And that's the value I put on it. I could give a crap about, well, I think that somebody could find these assets or these types of assets somewhere else for less money. Good, go there, get them for less money. The value that we're going to provide and the ease and that it will truly save you. Why? I know. Why do I know? Because he tells me so.
Exactly right.
Fine bar, Petra. I apologize. It just hasn't been a priority.
And by the way, if you're just joining us and you're, halfway through the conversation and you think we're anti, testing and all that, we're not. We've talked a lot about A/B and testing headlines and all these other kind of stuff. We're totally for that. This one is specifically on, making adjustments that you don't really need to, or where to focus. In my opinion, where to focus your energy when you want to tweak what's already working for you. And it's not at the front end of the funnel, it's at the back end. That's where you tweak everything and build it all from there.
A lot of that came from the direct response marketing world.
Mm-hmm.
When before the onset of the interweb thingy, there was things called postcards and letters that you sent to people.
Mm-hmm.
And if you sent a postcard and you had one billboard and copy, and then you change the billboard with the same copy, and then you change the headline with the same, and you have your control and you test, and you keep testing until you figure out before you go send out 1 million pieces. And same thing with an envelope. Is a hand addressed envelope going to get opened more than? Yes, it is. Is a hand return address? Is a typed one going to be open more than a handwritten? No. Is a typewritten going to be open more than a form one? And then there's the ones you're like, holy crap, I have to open that because it's got the window thingy and it looks like it might be a check. Well, it ain't a check, but you opened it. Why? Because somebody tweaked and learned how to get you to open it. The messaging may have been good or not, and you may have been the wrong person to receive that. You probably weren't the dream client. I totally agree in tweaking. For the most part, though, like you said, we've launched over 100 products in the last 14 months. And the time I spend in building the page and the buttons and that, it's like I use the blue button, which is the color of my company.
Well, how many times have you changed the page?
The page, I don't. I don't
there
go back
you go.
and change the page and I'll look and go, oh, somebody bought that thing. I have no idea how they found it.
So do you think that because you have the same blue button or something that you've lost thousands of dollars?
No.
Why not?
Because there's nothing to do with the blue button. It's everything to do with the video on the page and the copy and the offer I make them and the value I provide them and that they're the dream.
So let me ask you this. You've now had 100 products or whatever. Okay, let's say that last week's products worked. You had whatever many 100 sales, and this week you launched again in the same page, everything the same except the offer's different, right? And you don't make any sales. Okay, or you hardly make enough sales. Where's the problem?
The problem is I changed something that I shouldn't have changed.
That's not the answer I was expecting. because I
Right.
thought it would be the offer, or the thing's the wrong thing.
Well, you
So
told me that the first offer worked, and then I
no,
changed.
it's not the offer, it's another product. You
Oh, okay.
you
I
released
missed
another product, nothing changed,
it's
same
the
page,
offer.
same look, right?
It's always the offer.
Yeah.
It's
So you're
the
not going
value.
back to the page and saying, "Wait a second,
No,
100 things sold last week.
no,
This week it didn't, so I'm gonna change the way the page looks
no. It's
because
like
it's the
I said,
page's problem."
I put a collection up and I'm gonna price it at 65 bucks. I have no clue. I'll put it out there. I'll play with it. I'll tweak it. I'll do different things until I figure out what's the sweet spot. I may end up selling it for more. I don't know.
Right.
But it's just a matter of it was the offer. It's always the offer, Joey.
But that's what I'm saying. So but you see, that's what I mean. People will tell you, "Well, no, that's your page sucks. You need to go change the page because the page doesn't work." Where you've now had a page that was selling or whatever in the last 3 or 4 months, okay, and then you put out this new thing and it doesn't sell, and you're like, "Well, you got to change your page because it sucks." No, this is the wrong freaking offer.
Yep. Dream client offer. Dream client offer. If I have the right dream client, and for coaching and consulting, the dream client has enough money to pay 5 figures. That's part of the dream client formula for me for that particular product service. If I have the dream client who has this problem and this need and all of that, then the offer just has to provide so much value because they got the money. The people I like to play with have money. What? Go figure, huh? What a shock. The people I like to play with have money.
Yeah. No, like you proved the point, and that's because you've done it so many times now. That's
Yeah.
the first thing you're going to go to is that offer. It's not that you're going to change the way that the page looks, even though, granted, maybe somebody does bounce because they don't like the way the page looks, whatever. But it's
What?
not like, oh my God, if you change your page, Scott, this is all going to change for you.
No,
And that's some of the mentality that's out there, bro.
I'm going to go back 15 months, September, October, November. 14 months ago when we launched Fast Video Creator. And I shared this story before. And I did 6 webinars, 2 on Wednesday, 2 on Friday, 2 on Saturday, 2 o'clock and 7 o'clock to get everybody. And I did the first one and it was kind of a debacle. It didn't make much sales in that. And then we did another one and I got on with my peeps and I said, what you think of it? Tell me what happened, this and that. I didn't understand this. This should be this, that. You didn't really have a long enough. I want to buy in at 1,500 bucks, but I don't have it right now. Can you do an extended payment? And I normally wouldn't, but I did. So you can give me a bunch of money over a year. That gave me recurring revenue for 12 months. And it didn't, one guy couldn't afford even that. And could I do something? And could he get the lower thing? And if he decided within 90 days to upgrade to the thing, could he? And I was like, yeah. I spent a full day listening to them and giving them offers that they asked me for. And they asked me for the offer. I made the offer and they bought the offer. Well, how did I know it worked? Duh. I put it out, got it out, and then I got feedback. And then I tweaked it and I got feedback. Same people. And those are the same people for the last 13, 14 months that we've been. It's like if you collect.
Yeah, so like in that case, where you did that, that's where someone else would go to the front and say, "Well, they didn't buy, something's wrong with them. So I got to go get new people because they'll understand it and
Yeah,
buy."
yeah,
Right? That's what I
yeah,
mean. It's
yeah.
like, no.
If you've got the dream client nailed and you've got the offer nailed, you'll succeed. Period. It's just it's I don't care if you've got a WordPress site or a Squarespace or a Weebly or whatever it is that your nephew built for you who's 9 years
Excuse me.
old and put your words on a piece of paper that had a PayPal button that worked, it would work. Doesn't have to be this, oh, I paid somebody $10,000 to design. Isn't it beautiful? Yeah, it's pretty. Well,
Well,
could have spent 500 bucks and took the 9,500 and hired Joey for that.
now we know where to tweak. Back end, That's the best place to do it. If you don't have your offer that's working right now, then tweak the offer, the copy, the dream client information, the language, all of those things. Get that working to a point where, hey, this is pretty good. And then put your energy into the back end, to the people who have already bought, who've trusted you, who are in your world. And I'm just trying to summarize here as we wrap up. Um, you know, people who are already in your world, and even if you don't have them, have another whatever product to move them into, then work with them and speak with them, communicate with them so you can figure out what that next thing is for them. If you have something else, rather than bulldoze market them, nurture them and ask them and wait for them to make the choice on when they want to move over into your next product, but focus there, not on the front, to bring more people in just so you could do the same thing to them and ignore these people if that's what's happening right now. Don't ignore what you've already got.
Well said, my friend. Well said.
Thank you. And thank you again for being here, Scott, on another Tuesday. It's number 92, I believe, today.
What did
So
we
we're
figure?
getting close. We're getting close, my friend.
We calculated that we're going to hit 100 in like what, mid-December or something. I think.
It'll be close to Christmas. It'll be
Yeah,
just before
yeah,
Christmas.
yeah.
And it'll be a great Christmas gift. I can't wait.
It's going to be an interesting show we have planned, like all our other shows we plan months in advance.
Yeah, right. Oh my gosh. Wow. I just the fly. We should call it the fly by the seat of our pants marketing show.
There we go. Well, we haven't changed the name in a while.
Thank you, my friend. Love you. Love everybody watching. Thank you for being here. If you're on the replay, thank you for watching the replay. And I will see you next Tuesday night.